Debbie from Lime Doodle Design, and today for Waffle Flower I'm creating a pair of quick and easy, totally cute cards using the Stitched Cacti stamp set paired with Lacy Layers dies. The Stitched Cacti set is one of a unique range designed for Waffle Flower by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which uses small X's to represent stitches, and in addition the sets are designed so that you can stamp different areas to let a colourful scene unfold. I'm starting out with a piece of Nina Solar White card in the Misty, and I've laid out some of the stamps on the card so I can work out a design which fits inside the die that I'm planning to use. I've removed all but the first layer of the cacti and then stamped that with Jelly Bean ink from Simon Says Stamp. I stamped the image a second time to make sure I got a really good solid impression, and that's one of the advantages of a stamp positioner, is that you can repeat stamp until you are happy with your stamping. I have to say that my stamping has improved no end since I regularly use the Misty. Another advantage of a stamp positioner is that you can use it to easily create multiples of your project. I've placed a second piece of card in the Misty and stamped the cacti image again. I'm now moving on to the second part of the cacti image. This lines up with the gaps in the first image, and when stamped in a darker ink such as Green Leaf from Simon Says Stamp, it brings the cacti to life with the impression of dimension. The Stitched Cacti set comes with a range of accessories to create your scene. I'm using the plant pot and stamping that a couple of times in khaki ink, and then partially stamping it again with dark chocolate ink to give some shadows to one side. I'm going to perch the bird from the set on the top of the cacti, and I've double stamped the beak and legs in sunshine ink. Getting the placement of the legs in particular is important, so that the spacing between all the stitches lines up. If I'd stamped the body of the bird first, I may not have left the right amount of room for the stitching representing the bird's legs. I stamped the bird in spring rain ink and then the bird's eye in VersaFine Onyx black ink. I also use this ink to stamp a face on the cacti too. The stamping is almost complete now. All that's left to do is to stamp the sentiment, and I choose a Happy Rose apple ink and stamp the sentiment several times to get a good impression. As I was stamping each element of the scene, I repeated the stamping on my second card so that I'm left with two cacti scenes at the end. I'm now going to move on to a little die cutting. I've used one of the rectangular dies from the Lacy Layers 5x7 die set. I'm running that through my die cutting machine. This die cuts not only the rectangular panel, but also a lovely defined stitch pattern around all the edges. I'm now going to use one of the Lacy dies from the same set. This cuts a scalloped edge and also a dotted pattern around the borders. I used this die to cut two panels from some Happy Played pattern paper, and then added foam adhesive to the back of all the pieces. I layered the stamped cacti rectangular panels onto the scalloped pattern paper panels, and love how that Happy Played pattern paper sets off the colours in the stamping. For the card bases, I cut a piece of fog card from Simon Says Stamp into two 5.5 pieces, and then scored them on the long side at 4 1/4 to create two side-folding A2 cards. I always like to reinforce the score lines with a bone folder, and this helps to keep the card laying flat. When laying the cacti panels on the card bases, there's a space to one side. I did debate whether to keep the A2 card size and decorate the gap with twine, but in the end I decided to simply trim the card bases down until there was an equal border around the pattern paper. I then removed the foam adhesive backers and added the panels to the card bases to finish this pair of super cute Stitched Cacti cards. These simple cards bring a smile to my face, and I hope they do you too. I'll leave you with some photographs and want to thank you for joining me today. For more project information, please visit waffleflower.com and follow on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook for more inspiration. If you want to find me, I blog over at limedoodledesign.com. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.